Hi, everyone, and thanks for being with me. What I'm about to say is rather personal, and it's something I've been mulling over, I guess, for the last couple of days. But I've decided that I'm going to hopefully just do this in the one take, get it all done, get it all out there. I'm going to talk today to you about why it is that we choose not to confront issues which are personally affecting us, that we believe strongly in. Why is it that we sit back and often choose to do nothing? And I'm going to talk about this because we've reached a time, I think, in society and in the world where we have to start pushing back a lot against the negatives aspect of politics, the fear, the hate, the all the stuff that's going on with regard to Gaza and the genocide happening in relation to the Palestinian people, and because you say that it's a genocide, you're anti-Semitic for some particular reason. But we need to push back against all of that. And the reason why I wanted to make this particular video is because I have been extremely guilty of being a passive bystander in many of the issues that have happened in my life. And some of those issues have been quite significant. I've made efforts to be able to change some of the social issues that I've encountered, particularly in my practice. But when I've been thinking about a lot of what's been happening in my world, I've come to realise that I've allowed people to bully me for ever since I was in primary school, where the kids bullied me. I've got situations where in high school teachers bullied me, teachers beat me up, did a lot of things that were really unhelpful to me, and no one seemed to stand up for me. Now, this is not a pity party, and this is not about me playing a victim. I'm not telling you this for that reason. I'm telling you because those experiences have taught me to try and seek other ways to fight back. So when I chose to do social work, which is over 30 years ago now, I became part of an organisation who weren't practicing appropriately, I believe, in terms of the therapy work I was doing. I pushed back against that. I kept on being dragged before human resources, and HR used to beat me over the head every second year or so. I was there for about 7 years until eventually I left because of the bullying that I was receiving. Now, I left, went into private practice, and as a result of going into private practice, I became very involved eventually with Vietnam vets and worked with them for a while. Had a manager at the Vietnam Vets Counselling Service where I was also bullied, and I stood up to her, and my contract was the contract ended, which wasn't renewed, and then I went into, well, because that was a part of my private practice, and then I eventually started doing some work around child protection, and a lot of my work was in child protection. And again, there I was bullied. I was bullied by the department, who at first, when I started doing the representing parents whose kids were taken, the department chose to shut me out, blocked me from attending meetings initially, and then would drag me before them, or before managers in relation to people that I was seeing that they were saying I shouldn't be speaking to, and all that sort of stuff. And eventually I met up with the chief executive for the department at a meeting, and he yelled at me, screamed at me, put me down, and I thought, bugger it, I'm going to try another tact. So I started the Child Protection Party. Now, I'm telling you all of that because that history is significant, because throughout that time I've always tried to adjust myself, because I'm a pacifist by nature. I don't yell, scream, shout at people. I don't say things generally that I shouldn't say. I'm really careful about what I say. When I'm working with clients, of course, and I'm representing those clients to the department, I want to present myself in the best way that I can. But I was a target. And I'm now as strange as this might seem, I retired 6 months ago at the age of 72. Could have retired perhaps a long time earlier than that, but I chose to work on because I enjoyed the work that I was doing. Why am I telling you all of this? I'm telling you this because the reality is that sometimes you just got to call the shit out for what it is. And for most of my time, particularly as a social worker and being an accredited mental health social worker, I was concerned about my accreditation. I had on one occasion been called up for ASW when I was doing some employees assistant work, and that was really uncomfortable. And I thought I was going to lose my accreditation, a lot of other stuff. And that was because the organisation I was working with, that is Optum, was the organisation. Terrible organisation, but they're the largest health provider in the world, in fact. Lots of power, lots of authority, lots of dickheads working for them. And two of those people chose to have a go at me because of varying reasons. Won't go into it now, but they chose to have a go at me because a guy that I thought was my best mate, he threw me under the bus. So all those issues that I'm airing out in the public right now, which I haven't ever aired before, are issues that make me think about why it is that we do not fight back. And I was thinking about myself. Why is it that over this time I haven't fought back in other ways? And one of them, the primary one, is fear. And so I started to think about, well, why isn't it that we're not more aggressive? Why isn't it that we don't air our concerns in a more forthright manner? I'm not suggesting we should punch people in the face. I'm not suggesting that we should yell, scream and shout at people either. But I certainly am saying that there are many instances in my life whereby I should have had a direct go at those people who chose to abuse me, not because, primarily because there was something about me that they didn't like, and of course I would take that on as being offensive. Like I've always tried to do the right thing. I think I was morally sound in terms of many of my actions, but nevertheless, many of these people saw me as being a threat in some way, didn't like the way I was working, felt challenged by some of the things, I guess, that I was doing, but never had the guts to come out necessarily and say to me, these are the things I don't like about you, Tony. They just used other methods, bullying, saying stuff behind my back, telling other people that they didn't trust me for whatever reason, but not directly saying that to me. In other words, they were fucking cowards. And I never called them out for that. And I'm at a point now, though, where, and I hope you're still with me at this point, because some of this stuff is really important to let you know that you don't have to do what I have always done, which is be the pacifist. So I've chosen now that I'm still see myself as a social worker, I still see myself as very socially progressive. I see myself as caring for the people that I've represented and for people in general and the public. And I'm not a Russell Brand or a Taylor Swift type person. I don't have millions of people that view my videos. I have a simple 167 at this particular point in time. But none of that matters to me. This is not about me going out there and saying I want to be an influencer or a tremendously creative person, because I'm not in this sense. I want to be able to use YouTube and social media as a means by which I can start to free myself up, to be able to say the things that I've been wanting to say, but really should be saying and should certainly be saying now. And some of that stuff is about challenging the crazy people that sit in this world who try and put you down and denigrate you. And there's an example of that in terms of one of the people that seems to want to comment on one of my posts, where they make a whole lot of assertions. This is one of the issues that really annoys me, is that there have been a group of people out there who have always tended to want to make assertions about who you are and why you say the things that you do based on zero information whatsoever. And one of the accusations was that I would only identify, I would not call people out for pedophilic behaviour if they were on the left, which is complete bullshit. But that's what this person said, knowing nothing about Child Protection Party, the work I've done around protecting children over the years, and representing parents and all that other stuff that I've spent decades doing. No acknowledgement of any of that, because this person clearly didn't understand that. And if they did, then they were making spurious statements that were completely irrelevant. So my point is that it's about time that we start to challenge the decisions that people make that conflict with our own set of ingrained values. And I, as someone of my age, have established these values not over my entire lifetime. In fact, I would argue that the values that I now hold very dear to me are values that I've only established in the last 30 plus years, because prior to that, I would say my values were extremely right-wing, some of them over which I'm quite embarrassed, in fact. But there is something about being able to say, this is what I believe in. If I hear other people saying things and doing things that I disagree with, then now I need to be able to say so. And I need to say in a way that's emphatic. You know, I need to call bullshit out when I hear bullshit. I can now say, and I'm free to say, because I don't have any other constraints of being a social worker or working for an organisation or anything, where I can now say whatever I need to say. You know, I'm envious of those people, even the crazies, even the cookers in this world, who for whatever reason get up and they say the craziest shit in the world, and they can do so because often those people are either unemployed, self-employed, have no real regard to anything or anybody around them. They're motivated by their own need to be recognised, I think, a lot of them, not necessarily about the things that they're saying, but they're unconstrained. I, for all of my life, have been constrained, whether it was about my religious beliefs, the beliefs I was raised with, whether it was about the profession I chose in the end, or whether it was just about cowardice. And I no longer want to be that coward, if you like. And I'm encouraging people not to be. So I'm telling you this story because I'm over wanting to be the person that is compliant and agreeable, and the person that looks for other ways by which to tell a person's story. Child Protection Party was a way by which I could tell other people's story in a more recognised fashion, if you like. And, you know, I set up a foundation, another story in relation to that, but I set up a foundation that was working with parents specifically. And I eventually had to leave that because of what was happening there as well. And I'm over it. I'm over it. I've done all that I can do in all of those areas. There's nothing more that I personally can do, except I do have a camera, a microphone, I have the internet. And I can start talking about this stuff in a far more meaningful way. And I can, and so this is like, folks, this is like a therapy to me. This isn't necessarily about being an influencer or changing anything. This is about me being able to say what I think, not necessarily because I want my numbers to increase, as nice as that would be. It'd be nice, in fact, to get enough subscribers, at least 1,000 of them, so that I can, you know, at least pay for some of this expensive equipment that I've bought. But really, this is about me having a conversation with you about things that matter to me, and also about you being able to have a conversation with me about the things that matter to you. Us insignificant people, you know. I don't have a following. I don't have millions of people that are interested in what Tony Tonkin has to say. You know, I'm always amazed that people even want to know what Russell Brand has to say, and all the other people out there, the influencers, you know, and people like, well, I watch, you know, David Packman, I watch Rick Shields golf. You know, there's lots of stuff on YouTube that I watch. But, you know, do they have anything of greater value to say than I do? Probably not, to be honest. Do they have a following because they've been around for a long time? Yes, they do. Is that important? Yes, it is to them because they earn lots and lots of money from it. I'm not in that business, but I'm in the business of being able to say what I want to say, when I want to say it. And whether you watch it or not, it's entirely up to you. I don't give a fuck. But whether or not you find me entertaining or not, that's probably a different issue because most people probably don't find an old fart of 72 entertaining. But whether I have something of value to say and that you take on board some of what I'm saying. So some of what I'm saying is about this pushback, being able to push back against the issues that are out there, the crazy people that are trying to convince other people that their version of the world is the correct version when it's a damaging version and it's going to harm people and it's going to take them down a path that at the end of the day is going to be destructive. I'm going to stand up against that. And I'm going to stand up against people who push back against me. Because as far as I'm concerned, you can go and get fucked. I don't care anymore. I should have been like this a long time ago. I feel guilty that I hadn't been. But I'm going to do something about it from now on. So all my videos are going to be about things I believe in, things that I think are dangerous and destructive to our community. And I'm going to fight for the things that I need to have put out there that are going to make a difference. I've always been like that. I've done it in ways which have been extremely passive, and I now want to change all of that. So I'd be interested to know, if you've stuck with me for this long, I'd be interested to know what you think, whether it's about time we all started to find ways to push back. Now, I just need to say in closing, I admire people, regardless of whether you're on the right or the left or central or whatever, wherever you are. I admire people that stand up for something they believe in. I may disagree with them, and I will say I disagree with you, but I admire you for at least making a stand, against something that you think needs to change. As crazy as that might be, whether it be Cooker World or whatever, I don't care. At least you're making an effort, right? And I'd like to see more of us making an effort. There should be more people accessing YouTube and social media saying the things that they need to say. Whether or not you have followers doesn't seem to matter to me, but there are a lot of people out there who just worry about their clickbait and the number of subscribers they get and number of followers and all that sort of stuff. I've been on Twitter for a while. I don't give a shit about it. I don't know how many followers I've got. I haven't even looked. Don't care. But what I do care about is being able to express myself. And this is what this is all about. Me finding a way to express myself, because for 72 years I've fucked up. Haven't been able to do that as efficiently and as effectively as I would like. And I'm hoping that however many years are left, and there are fewer years ahead of me than there are behind me, I can assure you, that I'm going to do my best to tell you what I think about the issues that matter to me. I don't care whether you subscribe or not, but I'm going to just put up my subscription thing just in case some of you feel so inspired after this rant. So thanks everybody for being with me. I've got some great videos coming up in relation to some Sky News stuff that I saw recently. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And in the meantime, take care, look after yourselves and be safe.